Hey subbies, it's Chantel with remygirls. I have missed you all dearly, and I am coming to bring you this video and tell you everything that has been going on for the last 2 years, because I know that it has been 2 years almost since I posted a video here on YouTube. And I know for all of our clients, we have been out of the salon space for about a year, and we have only been online, and things have been just a madhouse and all of that. So let me just get right into it. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you just clicked on this video to be curious, thank you for stopping by. If you are one of our subscribers, we love you dearly, and thank you so much for staying with us. But let me talk about what has been going on for the past 2 years. So it has taken me a lot to make this video and just to be open. I am the person that likes to be behind the scenes. I like to be behind the camera. Sometimes I only like to be in front of the camera from the neck down. So I know some of the videos that you all have watched in the past, you may see only my hands. You may see just the hair and I'm talking about it. I am okay with being behind the scenes because that has been my wheelhouse. But it is only fair that I come on and talk about why we haven't been around on social media for the last year and why we have not made a video in 2 years. So it's been almost 2 years to the date. It's June. I think the last video I posted was like in August or something. So we're kind of close. But let me go back. So 2 years ago, right around Father's Day weekend, like literally. So this is kind of eerie in a sense when you look back and see everything that's going on. But anyway, so 2 years ago, my daughter ended up getting sick, and we thought she was just sick on her stomach or something like that. She hadn't been feeling well. She couldn't hold anything down, and it was like an all evening thing. And then she didn't have any strength in her legs. Like, she was so sick from vomiting that she had no strength to even get up. So she was just in the bathroom. The next day we took her to Children's Hospital. And her hemoglobin, and if you don't know what hemoglobin is basically the blood cells that carry the oxygen throughout your body. So if I'm saying this right, if not, I know all the medical professionals on here will correct me, because that one ghost bomb video that we have, some of y'all tried it, but it's a learning curve. So I appreciate the, what is the word for it? I appreciate the constructive criticism, and then if it's just negative, I just ignore it. So, but I know that you all will correct me. So let me just say that the hemoglobin is the red blood cells that carry the oxygen through the body. When you are healthy, your hemoglobin, I believe, is in the anywhere from the 11 range up to the teens. I'm not 100% sure. I am not a doctor or a nurse. I'm just going off of memory. When your hemoglobin is low, where you can feel tired or sluggish and just your body is just out of whack, usually your hemoglobin is somewhere between the, I don't know, let's say 7 to 10 range. But 5 is critical, because once again, hemoglobin is the oxygen carrying component throughout your body. We got my daughter to the emergency. We took her to Children's Hospital. We got her to the emergency, and they didn't know what was wrong with her. They tested her blood. We waited a couple hours. My daughter she was just exhausted. They had her on IV, and she was just kind of in and out of consciousness. And the nurse comes back in, and she's like, her hemoglobin is 2.4. Now, let's put that in perspective. Your hemoglobin at 5 is critical level. Your hemoglobin at 2.4 is basically you're knocking on death's door. And so we didn't know her blood type. Bad parenting. I have it somewhere, but it's not committed to memory. My mom was an old school mom, and she knew my blood type. That's, you know, that's just one of those things that your parents kind of remember. Some things your parents kind of remember. You'd be like, that is so random. Anyway, so we didn't know her blood type, and we just had to go from there. So going from there meant blood transfusions, and in the interim of all that, trying to get with the blood transfusion team, they had to put her in ICU. And so once they figured out what was going on, they put her in ICU. And so we get up to the ICU floor. By then, everything is moving so super fast. And her hemoglobin had dropped to, I believe, 2.2. Now, with that being said, my daughter was in and out of just sleepy, like when the nurses and the doctors would come in and try to hold a conversation with her. She would wake up enough to answer their question, but she would go back into sleep. So they end up ordering blood for her transfusion. It took them 3 pints of blood to get her through the night into the next day, where she was even conscious enough to be awake and have a conversation. And the doctor came in the next day and he said, do you understand what's going on? And she said, yeah. And he said, do you realize that if you would have just went to sleep, because that was one of the things she was saying, I'm just so tired, I just want to go to sleep. That's one of those things that if you go to sleep and your hemoglobin is that low, that you just sleep on away from here. It'll be almost natural causes in a sense. So dealing with that, we were in ICU for an entire week. And up until that point, outside of my daughter breaking a bone as a kid, she was never in the hospital. She was a pretty normal kid. So for having a child, and who, fortunately, I've been blessed enough to have a child that had no medical issues. And so we went from 0 to being in ICU for 5 days. It literally put things on hold business-wise for that week, and then it also put a strain on the just business, because yes, Remy Girls is my baby as well, but my baby needs me more than Remy Girls, and the rest of the team can hold it down right now, which is what they were doing. All right, so I'm back, and I have a total wardrobe change because I was on vacation when I recorded the first half of this video, and somehow it got erased or lost. So here we are. So second half to it, as I was saying before, my daughter ended up getting sick, being in the ICU for a week, and we find out that she was diagnosed with systemic lupus, and that's what we have been dealing with. Outside of my child being sick and trying to run a business, the rest of my life just begun to fall apart. My marriage started to take a strain, and then my spouse started to stray, and so it was just too much at the time. So dealing with a sick child and getting ready to go through the process of divorce, it was just too much. And I put so much passion into this business that it just started to lack. And if you're not going to give something 100%, just don't do it at all. And so I find myself in this predicament that, yes, like I said, Remy Girls is my baby, but my baby was sick and she needed me more. And then what I'm going through with my household being turned upside down, I just could not put up a wall, create blinders, and just make it all flow seamlessly. So kudos to the strong women that do. I am not that strong, I'll be the first to admit. So I need to take a break. And the first thing that I thought was, it's time to close up shop and protect my child protect my mental health and just get through these life-changing events. So that is the gist of what has gone on for the past 2 years and why I've been MIA and remygirls has kind of been on hiatus. But I am happy to say that I am back. Right now, all operations are online, simply because one, it's a safer way with the whole COVID situation. Rona has just taken over 2020 and it's her world. I'm not going to argue it. It's just the better way for all things to flow smoothly is to take operations online. So all of our wig consultations are online. Any type of services that we currently offer as far as installations and things of that nature, we just refer out to local stylists in the area. So things have changed quite a bit. They make things a lot easier for us, but at the same time, we're just kind of, with everything that's going on in the world right now, health and safety is the first priority, and anything outside of that, we just kind of pivot to just be able to keep the flow going. So I said all that to let you all know that I'm back. And again, I apologize because it has been quite some time and I owe you all an explanation, especially our loyal followers that have been our subscribers. I have tried to answer all of your questions individually and any DMs or inboxes. So know that I'm back and know that I have heard you, and I just thank you all and I appreciate you all for just rocking with us this long. Gotta give a couple shout outs before I'm done because this is the part that got cut off. So I want to give a shout out to my team. Thank you all for just being the best part of remygirls, including you guys that watch. Shout out to CC Nailed It. Make sure you check her out on Instagram. It's CEECEE Nailed It. That is my nail tech. Unfortunately, her books are closed, but I would love for you to go on and support her. So just go and like her pictures and tell her hi. Also, I want to give a super huge shout out to my glam squad at Luxury Beat. So make sure you go on Instagram. So you can go on Instagram and Facebook, and it's at Luxury Beat, and make sure you follow her as well because I couldn't do all of this without her. And then also, let me grab one more. I have to give a special shout out for this video, and forgive me because usually I have this all together, but just roll with me for 2 seconds. I appreciate you all. Just roll with me. There we go. And also I want to give a shout out to, I believe her handle is at JREMUSMUA. So that is Joy, who is also a makeup artist. I don't want to butcher her handle, so make sure you just go find her on Instagram at JREMUSMUA. So that is my team that keeps me looking fabulous, I guess. I appreciate them all. The rest of my team, you all have seen them. They don't need any kudos. But shout out to Phyllis. Shout out to a couple of the stylists that I work with. Some of them just like to be in the background, so I don't like to necessarily put them out there without their permission. But again, thank you all. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you soon.